I'm just preparing for the second mission in the campaign, action at State Farm 172. The Germans have had to bring in an extra unit, an artillery unit, from the 6th Army headquarters deck to bolster their play deck. And likewise the Soviets, because they had so many withdrawn cards and units from the last mission, although they actually won it, I've had to bring in from their southwest front deck a whole new organisation, the 6th Tank Brigade, and then a couple more cards to bring their deck up to the required size. In terms of formations being fielded, I've brought in a different organisation in this mission. So the 180th Tank Brigade is going to be defending now. It's quite a small organisation. We've got two tank battalion and a motorised rifle battalion, by bringing in anti-tank regiment in support. So they're going to field those 4, but one will be discarded randomly. The Germans, they performed quite well before. I like the Panzer Regiment, so the Panzer Regiment are starring again in this mission, supported by some heavy artillery, and again the Panzer Division headquarters. It's questionable whether to put 2 headquarters in, because I wouldn't have a lot of troops at the start for kickoff, but I'm going to go with that decision again. So we check to see which ones are withdrawn, so I'll just roll for the Soviets. 4, so their headquarters is not good. Now that's going to hamper them because they won't be able to pull that out of the deck at all. And for Germans, they're going to have to withdraw their headquarters as well, but they've got a second backup headquarters, so not quite so bad for them. Okay. Even if you lose your headquarters at start, it's always possible to draw another headquarters in play from another organisation, and then bring in those units. But of course, there's no guarantee if and when that's going to happen. So you can see why I often field 4 headquarters as a formation slated, 2 headquarters as the formation slated to start. Now let's see. So the Soviets are defending these. I put the positions thus because I want to show that these 2 are adjacent to that, and this one's adjacent to that. That one's also adjacent to that, but that one isn't, so I pulled it right back. And I pointed this one here, so hopefully don't get the same confusion I had on the locations in the last mission, which might have lost it for the Germans. So we've got 3 troops cards, 1 tank and 2 infantry, 1 in fact an anti-tank regiment. So I think I'll put the anti-tank regiment back in reserve, as it were, at the objective for the Soviets, and the others here and here. And I'm going to put the stronger tank one here because the terrain is worse, so they won't get such good defence. Because the Germans go first, we don't want them just blasting through the weaker location against a weaker unit on the first turn. So how do I set up these? So we've got from the Panzer 33rd Panzer Regiment here, we've got, there's nothing to stop me doing this, putting them all in one location, and we're going to go up that line of advance rather than that one, because that is the weaker terrain. Although it does have an orders cost. Now that's interesting, but we've got some artillery. And I should maybe turn this upside down just to remind me I don't know what's on them. And to stop me peeking, just help me with that bit of cognitive dissonance that is required. I think what I want is I'm going to have to put a troop. Now these 2 formations are identical. I'll have to put a formation here to defend against possible threat to my base. Although having said that, the threat would have to come here to here and then to here, so it would take quite a while to do. If I put both my troops here, I can move them all up in one go. No, it's a little bit risky. Because yeah, okay, so one's here, and then the artillery in the headquarters will be with this one. So that one's covering the base, and these ones are going into the attack. So we draw our starting hands, and German gets an intelligence card and some flamethrowers. That is looking interesting. And some camouflage, which they're not going to use. Oh, and the Soviets get a wonderful For the Motherland maneuver card, which is going to give them a whole bunch of orders at the go. So that's like an all-out card for an all-out attack. Okay, and they're on the fence in this one. So let's start. So one order for the Germans. That's not great. I'm immediately going to play their radio intercepts, so the enemy will discard any maneuver card which they have. They don't. No, they do. Fantastic. So that is the maneuver card. So that's fantastic. So the Soviets have to discard that immediately. They're not going to get to play that. That is great. No. Those cards are free, so they don't cost orders. It's possible they could. They don't have enough orders to bring on the flamethrowers, so they're just going to spend their one order to activate that 2nd of 33rd Panzer Battalion, bringing these two with it. Oh no, I know who's there now, so I should uncover these. Okay. And I think I'm just going to stop there. I don't want to go into combat just yet. So we go over to the Soviets, and they get 2 orders. I will have to draw up the German hand. Soviets have got some troops cards. They don't have a headquarters, so what they're going to do, they actually in their hand they have the 10th Corps headquarters, so they're going to bring that on. It has to come at the back line there. That will be 1 order. I know, but that would be an illegal stack. So that's actually annoying my setup. If I would have to move him to here. But I don't want to move him on his own because he's likely to get knocked out quite quick. So we'll spend the 1 order to bring on these troops, and then the next order to advance them. No, I still can't do it. Okay, and I'm going to advance them there. No, I'm not. Now we've got those, I can bring on this headquarters with the 2nd one. Okay, so the 2 orders. So basically just reinforcing at the back there. So over to the German side, he gets 2 orders. Oh, must remember to bring up the Soviet hand side, especially when they get a card like this, which is ambush, immediately playable. Opponent discards 1 troops card if they have one in their hand, which they do. Okay. So the Germans have 2 orders. I think at this point we're just going to barrage with 1. So I've got 5 barrage plus 3. 9. That's not enough. Okay, but barrage target cover 5 or less as well. 1. That's not enough. And then barrage in contact 4. So that's 9. Just enough. So that was quite costly. I should have probably planned that. Hold on chance 1, 4 or 5. No. So that was successful. It's withdrawn that unit straight away. But and we have an order left, yes, so we spend the order to pay for that order's cost. Normally we would just take that terrain straight away, but we need to spend an order on this terrain at Dubrinskia. Okay, so good. So the Germans have advanced and the Soviet base objective is threatened. So the Soviets get 2 orders. Oh, draw the German hand back up. Okay. No, they can't bring anyone more into there. I think they're going to withdraw. No, they can't bring him there because then we have a stacking. These 2 fellows are from different organisations, so they can't stack together. They're not upper level. Not looking so great. Possibly he could attack here, or even here. I think it would be better to blunt the attack. I can plan and reorder, so activate that fellow. Well, actually, if I move him, no, okay, yeah, it has to be him. Okay, so I can reorder 3 cards. What I want is for him to move over and to... no, I need another order for that. Yeah, I can't... these units are too weak really to threaten these without some planning, so I will spend that plan. See what I've got, see if I can do anything with it. I've got 2 chance checks of 4. Otherwise he could have moved here and didn't done observer. No. So that's no good. I think at this point now I wish I'd done this in reverse order, but what I'm actually going to do is no, I can't. I've got difficulties with stacking limits of different organisations not able to stack with each other. I'd like to move him here, bring in a fellow here, but I can't. I have to move him up, but then that would create an illegal stack here. So the Soviets are in a bit of a bind. I think so. Knowing that this card is a defensive card, after that planning I'm going to be able to use that. So I'm going to put that on top of the deck and then spend my last. I'm going to march the headquarters here so that if the Germans take this objective, at least that headquarters is not going to be in the firing line. And in fact, no, okay, so that's the end of that activation. The last activation, I'll pick this card from the deck. I can't play it now, but that's the Soviet turn over. So the Germans get 2 orders. Actually, what they just want to do is advance and repeat what they did before. They have to watch about this on their flank. They could well get through in that fashion. So I think what they'll do is they'll spend an order to activate the divisional headquarters, who's going to plan. So he gets to plan by reordering 5 cards. Now it's quite interesting that the cards we drew, like this one is attractive because it has a 3 on it, which means that the headquarters will then be able to, as part of his activation, discard any enemy aircraft card they have. So I'm going to put that at the top, and we don't want any surprises from there. Then I was looking for high barrage numbers to support a barrage. Now that one's reasonable, not fantastically high, but then I noticed General Paulus is in here. I don't want to miss him, so I'm going to put him next. So I'm going to spend the last activation this turn to draw him into the hand. And then the question just then is to order these to try and anticipate any response. The chance checks numbers are the same, so that doesn't really matter. So then I would look at these, say if I win a chance check and I'm fighting back, I want higher numbers there. Quite nice to have him as well. So I'm going to put it that way around. Okay. So what then happens is I finish the activation here. He can march 2, so he's going to march back here, and he can assemble, means he can bring out of the hand all units of his organisation. So that's actually 2 there, so he's bringing them on, so we're well protected here from any threat there. And then I'll uncover the 3, which allows me to discard an aircraft card from the enemy hand. They don't actually have any, but if they did, that would have been very great. And then I'll spend the last order, get General Paulus into my hand. I can't immediately attach him. That is the end of the German turn. So the Soviets get 2 orders on their turn. And immediately they're going to spend one of those to put the hedgehog card on the defence up there, on their back line. Oh, and I must remember to put the German hand back up to 5. Okay. And they got one more order. They don't have any handy cards they can bring on at this point with that. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to spend their last order to see what reinforcements are available. And yes, it happens to be an aircraft strike card. That goes into their hand, or it could be activated immediately. No, it actually says I have to add it to the hand or place it in a location. That doesn't go in a location, so I'm going to read it as written. That goes in our hand. So that's the end of the Soviet turn. The German gets 2 orders. So really they want to go in with these, and now it's tougher objectives, so there's going to be some barraging. Don't want to spend many more orders or planning. So we'll go straight ahead with a barrage. Hang on, no, because the cover's too heavy now. Damn, because of those hedgehogs. Whoa, that makes it really difficult. Okay, so they're going to have to bring up, of course, General Paulus. Okay, so that's one order to attach him to that artillery card. I'm anticipating that artillery card is going to be used a lot. so General Powerless will activate along with it. And then I'll spend the next activation to activate that card, including him. So it allows me to plan the top 3 cards. Have I got any great barrage ones? No. I do have this fellow who I want to draw. So it's another leader, and he also gives an extra orders check when I activate him. Some artillery and some smoke. Jim Palace is interesting because the next text on his activation text is draw 2 cards. So I put two of these cards that I want there, and I draw them. So now these are in my hand. Effectively, you can order what you're going to get. And then the next card will be an initiative orders check. So that's it. So he decided that's going to be a 2. Okay, so we've got 2 more orders. Still completing this activation. We can go for the barrage again. Yeah. Okay, so that's 9. No, sorry, that's illegal. I can't do because the cover's still too high. Okay, so that's all I can do with that. Still got 2 orders left. They're going to have to move into contact, but then I need some fellows up. To protect them, I think what I'm going to have to do. So I'll spend 1 order to activate the divisional headquarters so I can plan the next 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I've ordered. You can assemble again. Got a new unit. But he has to march first. Okay, and so then I'm going to spend the last order to activate this fellow. And I planned it so I know he's can advance, he can get onto the flank on a chance check of 4, which is going to give him good cover. Now he's going to go into combat. He's probably not going to win this, so I'm kind of throwing away this card. So he's on an 8 because the others have got base cover of 7. Oh, 8, 9 because these are anti-tank. It's an anti-tank regiment, so they go first. So that's 3 plus 5 is 9. That didn't actually do a hit on me. So if it was going to do a hit, I'd ordered the deck so that I would have survived that hit. So as that happens, that is over. Now it's my go. I get an 8 on 5. That's soft. So 5 plus 8 is 13. He's on 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 1 hit, just enough to get in. 2 hits. So that actually destroys that anti-tank regiment. That is lucky. Okay, good. So we got that. But there's still another unit there. So he's in the flank, which is nicely protected. And the only trouble is this artillery with Powerless is completely unprotected. And that they can actually move from there to there. So it's not a very well defended position. So that was perhaps a bit foolish. Let's see what the Soviets get. They get 2 orders. And now the first thing, no, in fact, what they're going to do with that is, well, this is interesting because they have a chance. They have a sniper card, but they need a 4 to eliminate the leader. They want to eliminate General Paulus. So he'll be completely out of the whole campaign, which I'd forgotten as playing a campaign when I brought him on. That is the risk. Although he's very powerful, you run this risk. Now to do that, they're going to have to make sure they get the 4, so they're actually going to have to spend 1 order to activate their headquarters so that they can plan to reorder 3 cards. And there is a 4, they've got it. So okay, so that shows in the next draw. So then they spend the next, no, and then that isn't an order. So the fortune card, bang, 4, eliminate a leader card. The sniper takes out General Paulus. Oh no, he's only worth 15 victory points. There's many units that are worth more victory points than him, but he has that very helpful ability. It's not as strong as some of the overall leaders, but that's it. So he's out of the whole campaign. General Paulus has been killed by a sniper. Maybe the Stalingrad encirclement will not go quite so badly. Yeah, pros and cons, pros and cons. Where was I? Yeah, so we've still got 1 order left on the Soviets. So in fact they can do, but that they've only got 1 unit here. So the question is, do we draw back, or have we got a card here? We can, no, we don't. So, but we do have an aircraft card. So they're gonna, do they gamble it on the strike? Because often, maybe a third of the time, a strike is ineffective, completely ineffective. The rest of the time, they're very effective. And I actually know what that card is, don't I? So, and I know that that's a failed strike. So we're not going to play that card. I think I either bring back the headquarters. I don't want to bring the headquarters to defend there. May have to be another reinforcement, but we're rapidly running out of reinforcements. At least they come back at the end of the operation. So that's right, they're going to spend their last order to bring on, as it happens, an artillery regiment and their baseline. Okay, and now the Germans go to 2 orders. Let's remove these. Oh, I meant to bring that up. I forgot. Okay, that's bad. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to activate Pioneer Battalion here. He can move 1 and advance 1. He can pick up that artillery. So he's bringing 2 artillery with him. So we now have 3 artillery in the basic attack position on there. On a 4 he can infiltrate, but I don't want him to infiltrate, I want him to cover. Though he does have a shock attack, so no, and then I'm going to spend the last, so he's going to remain there covering them. Then the last order is to use one of these to barrage the 4 on that one because it's the stronger. That's an 8 plus 4 is 12, and he's on 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Hold on chance 2, 4 or 7, and we get a 6. So that one is withdrawn without hits, but it is withdrawn. Okay, so there's only an artillery regiment, but we've run out of orders. And that is the end of the German turn. So the Soviet turn, they get 2 orders. On their hand should have been up. Okay, 4. So now they're going to bring their aircraft card into play with 1 order. I'm not going to plan because I'm going to use the other order to bring in the unit cover there. So in fact the first order I'll do that, bring in this troops card, just in case the German had anything, fortune card to stop that, and then the second order, the Sturmovix coming into play. So that's a strike, and it will be against that strongest artillery unit, and it's a no strike. Damn, okay. Bad luck for the Soviets. That's their turn. German turn. They get just the one order. I'm thinking of bringing in this fellow. Not likely to get sniped immediately, although it could happen. Soviets have 2 or 3 snipers available. Yeah, I'm going to risk it because we need to get this objective. Although, do we need it in the whole terms of the whole campaign? I think so. Okay, so I'm putting him on that Panzer Battalion unit. No, not. I'm putting him on the artillery unit. That's their turn. Draw the hand up. Oh, and immediately I get a forage for the Germans. So before I get the Soviets, drawing the hand up, they get the forage, so they can draw 2 cards. These can be played at any time at no cost. So just interrupt play to put 2 more cards into the German hand. They get an aircraft card as well, but only it's for interdicting, only against unengaged forces. So not these ones that could take out the headquarters, perhaps. Okay, but that will have to wait for their turn. So it's a Soviet turn, and they happen to get 3 orders. Okay, and in their hand they have another artillery unit which they can bring on here. And that would be the maximum stacking there. Then they're going to use 1 order to activate this artillery regiment. He's going to be able to do 2 barrages, one against the Pioneer Battalion here, because he's not in great cover, and then one against the Panzer Battalion, who's in contact. So against the Pioneers first, he gets 4, plus 6 is 10. He's on 4, so all that's bad. 2 results. Cards 1 hit. And so is going to hold on 7? No, so he only takes 1 hit, but they are withdrawn. Then the next barrage on the infiltrating Pioneer Battalion is another 4. That's 10. He's got a bit of cover 7. He's got cover of, defense value of 4 in that flanking terrain, and the defense strength is 7, so that's going to be no hit. So then the Soviets have another last order. They can activate this 467th Cannon Regiment. The same drill. So 2 barrages. First one against this artillery. 8 on 6. Oh dear, that's terrible. 8 on 6 is 14. Oh dear. And he's got defense of 4. No cover there, no defense strength in his position. So it's going to be 3 results cards. And yes, on the first one, there's 2 hits. That is destroyed. Goes to the Soviet victory point pile. And then in contact again against the Panzer Battalion. 6, and 6 is 12, and we're on 11, so that's going to be 1 hit. 1 result card, 1 hit, hold on chance, 1, 4, 6, and he rolls a 3. Oh no, and that I think is the end of the so he's withdrawn. I think that's going to be the end of the German opportunity in this mission. They needed that flanking fellow because the artillery can't do it on their own. Let's see, what orders do they get in their turn? They get just 2. They do have an airstrike. Okay, so we're going to have to use the Knight's Cross leader fellow. So we activate this artillery, which gives us on a 4, no, an initiative check, we don't get it. On another 4, you can act as an observer, which means that obviates, and that's 5, no, that would obviate the cover, so they will get 1 hit for being in contact. So that's 13 against top card 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 hit, hold on chance 4. Does he hold? Yes. Okay. Really, those are going to get destroyed. So for the second order, it's going to withdraw march back to friendly. Just reorder the stack. Okay, and so that is really, looks like the Germans, though there's still a fair few cards in the decks, Germans are withdrawing. Okay, so 2 orders for the Soviets. That is actually in German possession. The Soviets could now move in and take possession back, which obviously they're going to do. Hang on. So the Germans would have had to withdraw back to there. They only had a march 1, so they're there in defensive terrain. Okay, so Soviets could attack those artillery. They've got 2 artillery there, they've got troops there, but they've got troops here. Okay, this one's got a hit, so that is going to be the thing, but then that would leave their headquarters open. So, okay, they're feeling quite like they're sitting pretty at the moment, and they're going to spend 1 order to plan with the headquarters. See what cards we've got. Okay. Okay, they're all 4 chance checks, which doesn't give us a great chance of getting the first hit. But the artillery don't have any fire capability against infantry, so in close combat. So he's definitely going to take out one of these fellows. So the question just is the highest number, that one? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to do that ordering. Then with the last order this turn, he's going to, a bit risky, leaving. Oh, and on the last, after ordering, he can march 2, so he will march back to here. And then on his order, he's moving over to attack. Goes in for close combat. No, I made a mistake because they have no ability. Okay. So, oh well, I'll sit with it. I just messed up my order somewhat. Never mind. So he's got 3, and then he gets a 3. We don't, because normally we would check for cover to see who gets to fire first. But because these have no fire close combat opportunity against them, we don't check for cover. And I'd ordered it with that in mind. Never mind. So 6. Well, do mind 4, 5, 6, 7. There's no hit. Whereas if it had been the order, he would have got a hit. Okay, again, I'm going to let that stand. So that combat is null, but there's no comeback on him at least. We go to the German turn. They get 2 orders. I think what I'm going to have to do is slow down my play. Because I'm conscious I'm on the video, I'm being a bit hasty. Not wanting to leave huge gaps. Otherwise I have to keep going and pausing the video, and then I'm remembering to unpause it when I get back into play. And I think the answer is it's not going to be... This gives the idea of how it plays. I think I'm just going to record from now and just record videos. I'll finish this mission, but the rest of them I'll just record videos at the end of an operation just to say how things went. Or maybe just a summary at the end of the whole campaign. Or otherwise you're just going to get tons of videos of the same kind of things happening. Okay, so anyway, where are we? So the Germans have got 2 orders. They could march there and go into attack there. The Soviets have got so much lined up there. It's going to be difficult to take it all out in time, especially with a hedgehog on that card. Really, we need some sappers to be able to remove those field works, but we don't have any. We need to guard our artillery, so I think really what we have to do is activate one of those for an artillery barrage. It would be this one, so we can possibly get orders check. Yes, so 3 more orders. 1, 2, 3. Great. And the barrage, I get 2 on him, so that's a 7 + 8, 15, and he's on 4, so that's going to be 3. He's not going to survive this. Yeah, that first one's 2 hits, so he's destroyed. Okay, I think it was worth that try, but I messed it up. Never mind. Okay, so that's the end of that activation. So really we need to... I might have to withdraw those. It feels horrible. Oh no, I've got extra orders now, haven't I? Yeah. Okay. So what that means... I have to be careful with the stacking. It is I can move him up to there. I haven't got any helpful units in my hand. So I think now the first one has to be to plan 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm being a bit careful here. So he's going to march here with those fellows, then that troop, taking the troop with him, now that troop can go up front there to protect the artillery. He can, and that's all he's doing. Then with my next order, I'm bringing on the airstrike, and because I reordered the cards, because these are unengaged and I can target one of them, I know that I'm going to get a 40 nerve strike, and it's going against the headquarters here. So the headquarters is on 7, so we're getting 2 results cards against it. And it 1 hit and withdrawn. Good. So unfortunately we didn't destroy it, but we have withdrawn it. Then with the next order, I draw the last reinforcements. I happen to know it's just because of the cards in the mix, it's the last one. That it is a troops card, so I put him here to defend our base, and then I think we have 1 more order left, with which I'm actually going to discard a card from my hand because I've got a lot jamming it up, which I just can't use. These fieldworks cards, they're no good. Well, no, why discard it? I'll bring it in defense, isn't it? So that'll be silly me, yeah. So I'll put that here. So that's going to make us very strong. Nicely defended there. Some camouflage. Okay. So then I can draw my hand back up. And we go over to the Soviets, who get 2 orders. In fact, I should have drawn their hand up. Okay, 2 orders. Okay. Maybe they can get someone up here. They don't have any troops cards in their hands though, unfortunately. And now the cover on here is too heavy for them to barrage. So they're just sitting on defence. It's not good. So I think they're going to pay 1 order to, just for the sake of it, to put bunkers here. And then another order to draw on reinforcement. It's artillery. Okay, but at least they can, maybe they should place it here. No, they're going to place it here. So there's at least there's a unit. I'm looking after that place. Okay, a formation. Okay, so that's their turn. Germans get just 1 order on theirs. That's not going to go very far. Draw the Soviet hand back up. Oh, good, they've got some troops now. I think with that we're just going to draw. We're just going to add a headquarters back here. Go back to the Soviets. They get 1 order. They've actually got a troops card, but they can't bring them on down there, and they don't have a headquarters anymore, so they're a bit stymied. Can't bring him on there. It's difficult what to do. So I think what we're just going to do is draw another card for the Soviets. See what we've got. Another headquarters, right? So that was their turn. The Germans again just get 1 order. They need to go in, but they're hesitant. Because if he's going in, he needs to get on that flank for some protection. Okay, so what we're going to do is activate this headquarters. It allows us to plan to. You can march to, and I can commit a unit from out of the deck, i.e. this troop. In fact, seeing as you can march 2, you could go 1 all the way up there to 2. Oh no, that... Yeah, no, we couldn't do that. Second-wise, that would be 2 different organisations. 2 different base organisations in the same location. They could possibly go up there, but that's not really going to gain us anything. And as for planning... Okay, there's a chance he could have got an observer. In which case I would have marched... No, I couldn't have marched up to there. Okay, so no dice. That is the end of the German turn. The Soviet deck is running down and they now get 3 orders. So what this means is that they're going to spend 1 to move this, and one of the artilleries will have to go with him, just for organisational reasons. Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. No, okay. So he's going to move there for 1 order. Then for 2, I'm going to bring on headquarters from out of the hand, and then for the last order I'm going to bring on troops from out of the hand as well. It goes with that headquarters. So that's some nice reinforcements for the Soviets, and the Germans get 2 orders. They really need more than 2 orders because they want to plan, move and attack with artillery, for which they would need 3 orders. I'm just not getting it at the moment. Otherwise they have to sit poised in a dangerous position with that artillery facing them. You don't want to sit poised in the attack position. So it feels like their attack has stalled. So again now I'm hunting for formations to destroy. Just to try and gain something from this. So the thing is, this will give us a stronger defensive position, but we got this camouflage, so we don't have to worry about that. Oh. Okay, so what I have to do is I have to plan, reorder 2 cards. I was hoping for 4, then I could get an orders check, get some more orders that don't have them. Nothing I can do with these. 3 and 2 and a 1 chance check. That's not very helpful. It doesn't help me to do anything that I want to do. The cover's too strong to barrage against here or here, unless we're in contact. So that's terrible. So I'm just going to put those back. I could commit another unit, but I think it's going to be a bit late in the day for that to be able to have any effect on the outcome. And in fact, there's no unit in the discard pile to commit, so I'm just going to spend the last order digging down in piles of rubble. Another Fieldworks card. Feels like the Germans are spinning their wheels somewhat here, and the Soviets get another 3 orders. This is what the Germans want. And the Soviets don't have to attack. They can't here. No, they can't here because the cover's too great. So I'm not sure. I don't feel strong enough to go on a counter-attack. Especially seeing as the Germans have dug in. So I think all we're going to do is use our 3 orders to draw 3 cards. That burns through the deck, which means the next turn is going to be the last one. Okay, and then we have to discard down to 5. Okay. And the Germans go to 3 orders. They can't obtain the objective. Best they could do, and finally they get 3 orders, but the best they can do is take out some units. So with that, they're just going to move forward, advancing, and then activating